Okay, so let's see where we're up to. Now, like I said, this is a work in progress. I'm going to show you the new features, but it's going to bug out. I've got quite a bit of code that was previously working that's kind of commented out because I'm adding extra features at the moment and, you know, tying it in. Now, the way this works is you can half finish things, which makes the GUI kind of clunky. It still works. I think it's easy. You just kind of have to get used to its quirks because the dependencies will sort themselves out. It's actually built in a way that if you want to half finish something, it'll work with the half finished details that are entered essentially. So what we'll do to begin with, we're going to load a map. We'll just go to our go-to map like we always do. Let's do a plan. Okay, we'll see if we can do a basic plan, and I've gone too far away. Okay, so some of the new features that we've added, well, hopefully it works and it won't bug out, but there is a possibility that it could still crash while I'm going through testing. Now, some of these what do you call it, tooltips that pop up aren't correct at the moment because some of the functionality has been changed. Like I said, still not released yet, but let's have a quick look. So at the moment we can create an airfield. If we wanted to, we can create Batumi. If we wanted to go really in depth, we can also add the waypoints. As long as we know where the waypoints are, we can actually add these points in. And we can also, we'll go done. We'll just make them disappear for now, but they're still there. So if we go edit, now you can actually pick it up. You can also see which waypoints that you're going to be working on. As you can see, it'll highlight which one, just so you know, because I know that it'd be difficult trying to work out which one you're actually changing, and you don't want to have to go in and change it a few times to get the right one. So if you wanted to, you can also bring up data and waypoints so you can see it. If you can't see, you can just click on that and it'll give you just an easier to read thing there. Anyway, so what we'll do, we'll just call this Batumi. Now I'm just pulling all of this information out of my, you know, behind because, well, I don't actually know the information that I'm putting in. So we've got Batumi here. At the moment it has no plates. What I want to do at release is you'll be able to mouse over it, right click, show plates, so you can see as you're coming in if you know what you're doing, what you want to do, that kind of thing. So we'll just say that this one's got runway 29, the other end is 7, it's got 2 runways. So what we can do is we'll make this one left. Now we've got the same runway on as a right, so what we'll do, we can either open that up and we can edit it if we've got it wrong, so we can save the edit, or we can just add right here and add as new runway. So now you've got 29 left, 29 right. Maybe approach is maybe we'll call it ground. Okay, we'll call it ground, why not? And that's on UHF, I don't know, 500, whatever. We'll just go with that. Add as new radio channel, so that will display as well. So if you want to see that information, you can go I can't see, there it is, ground UHF. Excellent. So we'll just untick that so they're disappeared for now. Disappeared, so they're invisible. What we'll do, we'll go file, no we won't, we'll go aircraft. So I've left in the Warthog because that is DCS's bread and butter. We've got the Hornet because you can use that in Microsoft Flight Simulator and various other simulators, and the Falcon obviously for BMS and Gold and all that kind of stuff. So there will be an option in there to add an aircraft. Just be aware. So it's not just going to be these 3 and always these 3. You'll be able to save information to disk that will give you the basics that you need to do the calculations and function. So really you could use this with whatever you want. Say you want to put in a DA40, you want to put in a 747, Mirage, MiG, whatever, it'll work. As long as you put in the information, it'll work. There will be a little bit of well, the GUI will guide you. It will say, you know, you need to enter this if you want fuel calculations. You can't enter, well, you can leave this out, you can leave that out, but you need to have a name, blah blah blah. I'm currently building that as I'm doing other things as well. So what we'll do, we'll just add the Warthog. No, actually we'll do, no, the Warthog will be fine, that's fine. Now if we want to do a little bit extra, you can add a pilot, so that will make some extra functions work. Obviously it'll work without it, but if you want those functions, you'll need to enter in a pilot. So we'll call him call1, and his name will be name1, because his parents were very creative, or not very creative, either way you want to look at it. So you can tick the box here to create a crew with a pilot and a Rio. Say you want to fly in the Tomcat with Jester or a mate, you can actually save that to disk. At the moment it doesn't save to file, it just adds it to the current flight plan. So we'll go save to file, done. Now in order for us to be able to edit a plan, we need to create a plan. So we've got the option of obviously adding the ruler, which you've seen, but in flight plan mode it's as easy as just right clicking and going adding next waypoint. And then we'll add another waypoint, and we go to legs, then it'll generate a leg. If you've only got one waypoint and you click on legs, you'll just see nothing, it'll be invisible, but that's just the way it works. I don't think I'll change that, but anyway, we'll go out to C, we'll go over here, then we'll go over here, and then we'll go over here. Now, the divert, I'm currently working on a few things, and I've actually broken this functionality while I'm working on other stuff. So I'm not going to be able to show you exactly what I want to show you in the way I want to show you. Oh, actually, that's something I'll need to do to show you that that works. So if we go to, we've selected Batumi, yep, we've got it up here. What we can do is say we go to this one, we can call this north entry, depending on how serious. Like I said, you don't even need to add this in, it will work without it. If you don't want it, you don't need to put it in. Maybe because there's an airfield nearby or whatever, you need to come in below 3,000. So now that will be there. If you want to, okay, that's still selected. Like I said, it can be a little bit clunky sometimes because things half work. It needs to be able to deal with half chewed sandwich, basically. So sometimes things like this will click off, these airfields will disappear. All you need to do is like re-click the airfield that you want to edit. So let's go to no data. As you can see, it's highlighted, so now we know we're working with this one. We'll call this west entry. Now they're still there even though you can't see them, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. So maybe we're going to go in between, maybe the rules there are between 2,000 and 3,000. Some of these things are still the same, but it depends, because I've seen plates that say, you know, not above, but not above is also the same as below. So you know, it's just the way it works. But anyway, you can click on that, you can add that information, and now you can go to map data, it'll show you that it's there. There it is. So as you're flying, if you wanted to, you can tick the boxes or whatever. Yeah, so actually what we'll do, we'll go, just so I can see where that is. As long as you click within a certain area, if you want to, now diverts aren't working properly. Like I said, I'll be able to add it, but it's not going to, you know, I won't be able to add another one afterwards because that's currently broken. I think it does add it, but it doesn't display, but that's to do with the commenting I've done at the moment, so I can't really show off how easy that actually was working before I started editing things. But this will tell you that you've got a waypoint selected, west entry Batumi. This particular airfield doesn't have plates. These are the runways, that's your radio, these are the rules. So you can get that information rather easily. Now if you wanted to, you can add a divert to any leg. So say for instance you add this leg but you want to divert to go back home, which you don't really need, because if you click on data it'll actually give you all this information. Oh, the feet per minute is also broken as well, so I forgot about that because I'm adding things to that. But if we go add all, oh no, not the feet per minute, the time of arrival. Feet per minute will only matter when we start. Okay, what we'll do in it, say altitude 0 just for the sake of it, but we'll call that takeoff. We'll save to waypoint. Now if we go to waypoint 2, maybe we'll want to climb to 1,000 feet. No task, so we'll save that to waypoint. So now as you can see, we'll go data, I can't see. There we go. So now, as you can see, your estimated feet per minute is 100 feet per minute. So, which makes sense because it's 10 minutes to get 1,000 feet. So this will also be 100 feet because we're descending. All waypoints are added at 0, so the rest of these waypoints are at 0, as you can see. So it'll give you altitude here. These are all at 0. Yeah, so on and so forth. So what we'll do, we'll go back to legs. Actually, we'll go back to data. We'll go back here and we'll open this up. So your advanced flight plan. So what we'll do, we've got one pilot in here that's currently added. Now at the moment it's not very clear. This functionality hasn't been sorted out properly. Generally what this will do is this will pull what they've been set as. So if you've set a Rio or a Wizzo, or you can set them while you're in the flight plan. But before we do anything, we need to give it a name. We'll call it Flight 1. You could call it CAS or whatever if you want. You can also add the task, whether it's a patrol or not. We can set an external radio frequency. So this hasn't, the functionality's working, but the display isn't very clear at the moment. I've still got to work on that, but we'll say this is frequency 240 just for the sake of adding it. We'll add that as a new radio. Oh, hang on, I didn't save that. But let's add that as a radio. Oh, radio list. So add as new radio. Now we've got a radio in there and you can go through to the different frequencies that exist. Once you're finished, you can click on radio list if you want a quick look. So flight 1 has aircraft. Aircraft number 1 in the formation has AM 240 and the call sign is 1, or it'll be flown by, you know, Jester or whatever your call sign is, depending on the pilot that you've set up. So once you've done that, you've added your Rio, all that information will be in there. And use an existing pilot. If you've got more than one pilot or you've added more than one pilot, you can add more. The thing is, they'll all appear in here, but they're not necessarily on the flight. So what we can, I hope you don't hear that, but someone's mowing their lawn. So we'll go tail number, I don't know, I like 17, so let's add that. Enter doesn't work on that one. Save flight plan information. So now you can see that their tail number is 17. Depending on how far you want to customize this, if you want to do this properly or as in-depth as you want, or you want to, it's there for you. It just doesn't do weight, balance, loadouts, that kind of thing. What doesn't it do? I haven't changed this for a while, so no weight and performance calculations, no weapon loadout, no bearing correction map, no GPS correction map, no weather calculations, no mission time and carrier movement. 2 weeks. Well, that's one Easter egg of a few that you've already seen. So what we'll do, we'll go into back into edit details. What was I showing you? We can add radio frequencies, we can add a Rio, you can change the number of aircraft. Now some of these things, because they have to work funny, you just have to be aware of certain things. So say for instance we've got 2 aircraft but you accidentally put 3 in here, this will change this to a 3, but you can change it back to a 2. So it is possible to save this as 2 aircraft if you want to, for the purposes of also making it easy. Maybe the other person, you don't want to enter their information in or whatever, you just want to have 2 aircraft but only one of their information is available. We could also make this that this is aircraft number 2 on the flight if we wanted to, and we can save that. So it's no longer aircraft 1. You can go into the radio list. That hasn't refreshed. Aircraft number 1, but anyway. So this is aircraft tail number 2, or maybe I haven't fully finished that. But anyway, that's something. I'll put that on the list to look at. I wasn't expecting that, actually. This was quite solid. Well, I guess there's some things that I'll find extra in my testing. But anyway, as you can see, most of this stuff, we'll just add 20 minutes there, and we'll save it to leg. So now we've got 35 minutes, 20 extra minutes. That's on leg 2. Actually, what we'll do rearm or refuel, which you can do at a waypoint, or we can add air refuel, and we'll give it 20 minutes because, say, you're probably not very good at it like me. So we'll save that to leg. Now, add air refuel. That should say down the bottom there. Maybe we need to refresh it. Oh, that's broken as well. But as you can see, now we've entered that information. We've got flight 1, aircraft 1, yada yada yada. To be honest, I'm not sure that I actually changed that code at the moment, so something's going on there. It should say tank refilled. So we've got, oh, okay, and it's also not refilling the tank at the moment. So that's something I'll have to have a look at. So as you can see though, it does work out the fuel. When you tick the box for refilling, did I actually tick the box for refilling tank? Maybe that's my problem. Refill tank at start of leg. Tank filled. There we go. Okay. So it's just because I'm stupid. So tank filled. Now maybe the tank's filled because you've got friendly air tanker. You've got that uses a boom. So maybe you've got a KC-135 with a boom out here. You can also save that later. So these waypoints and everything can be saved to disk. So what I'm excited about is the fact that you could, in theory, set out a complete plan of what you want to do, and then once, and the legs, the diverts. This is actually a feature. Once it's moved, the leg will not, the leg divert will not move. So, say for instance, you do a divert there, but you actually want to go over here. So if you wanted to, you can set up the divert to be in the middle of the leg or whatever. All it does is it just requires the waypoint to first set where the divert is, because there's no implementation of being able to click where from and where to. But and I don't think I'm going to add that, because it's just as easy to say put a waypoint there and go, okay, well if I want, I'll put in an emergency divert, or if you want to, you can also just say that you're landing. It's up to you how you guys want to fill it out, what you know you want to do. And then you can just drag it over here. So say for instance it's an emergency divert, not a land. So you could just put your waypoint there, add the divert, so now you know from halfway between the leg. If you have any problems, that's what it's like from halfway between, which will be 35 nautical miles 7.3, and obviously you get the information from the end of the leg from over here. What I was saying before I remembered that was I'm really excited at the fact that you can add all of this information, prepare your mates, get them all used to what it is they're doing, you know, what's the mission on the server or whatever, get them all, you know, solid and ready to go, and you throw in a curveball like contacts halfway through, or maybe after they've completed their mission. See, if you send a mission to a mate or whatever, they're obviously going to see what's going on, but as long as they're honest and fair, they're not gonna have a look. Or if you're on a server or whatever, you can actually get people prepared, give them information, show them what it is they're doing, so that you can try and do it properly with a proper briefing, which I don't think this will open. No, it doesn't. I'm working on that at the moment. You can actually write in a briefing, all that kind of stuff, and then you can send it to your mates. They can prepare. Then you just throw them a huge curveball. They'll never see it coming, and then you all have to work on the fly. So I'm actually quite excited to see what that would be like, to be honest. What you can do is, this will look after multiple flight plans as well. So if you want to, you can save a plan. You can have a look at the saved data as well. If you want to, you can select which data to have a look at. Obviously, we've only got one. It will show all of the flight legs and all of the waypoints. It will give you the information in the background as well, which is why you add it. So now you can see this is Flight 1, Aircraft 1, AM240 call sign. So now you can actually see each individual waypoint or flight plan. Yeah, that's not going to work because anyway, let's just add another flight plan, not a real one. That I need to fix. But that's on the lowest list of my priorities at the moment to get done. So if you wanted to, you can also have a look at the saved data on legs. So now you can see Yep, waypoint and leg data, so that'll give you everything all at once. If you really want to see that, we'll go save data. You can select the waypoint that you want to see, and then you can just go back to data here and compare. So say for instance you want to meet up half an hour in, 20 minutes in, whatever, you can kind of work it out within the minute of what it is you want to do. Like I said, because most things are rounded out to minutes, but obviously, you know, in the background it's still working out 30 seconds, 35 seconds, that kind of thing. So it'll say that this will take, you know, 5 minutes. However, it's probably 5 minutes and 49 seconds or something like that. So it's within the minute. And obviously with weather and that kind of thing, it'll slow you down, speed you up, all that kind of stuff. So that's most of the features we've got at the moment. At the moment it can't save. I'm also working on that while I'm doing some updates and changing and editing and stuff like that, to get it to work and smooth out the bugs, and obviously doing bug testing and that kind of thing. But that's where we're up to now. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get this out. Like I said, I'm still working on it. If I'm trying to contact Ralphie dude to give him a free copy of this, because I want to give him a free copy before I release it as well. It's not going to be a full working version, but I want to give him a personalized copy just to say thank you, because he's one of my favorite YouTubers. I'll try and get a hold of him at some point to see what he thinks of it. Now I have written a bit of a thing for him as well to say, hey, be honest. If you do a YouTube review, honestly, you know, promotion is good, but I don't, you know, I said be honest. You know, I want this thing to work on its own merit. I think it's great, actually, and it gives me joy thinking about, you know, setting up plans and putting in all the information, chucking in a briefing, that kind of thing, showing it to your mates, and then at the end when they're, you know, going home, all of a sudden, you know, a pair of MIGs come out of nowhere. I don't know, it fills me with joy. So this is where we're up to. I want Ralphie to be honest with it, you know. I'm not, you know, like, I'm not the kind of guy to bribe or whatever, but I just, regardless, even if he does a YouTube or not a YouTube, I want to give him a customized version of this that's got his name on it, just to show my appreciation of the over 10 years he's been on YouTube. He's been on YouTube a little bit longer than me, but his content is so much better than mine. Yeah, so I'll try and get in contact with him. Hopefully he'll show this off to more people, and we'll see if we can get people interested. At the moment, it's not finished. It hasn't been submitted to Steam. Like I said, that's what I want to do. We'll see where we go with it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully we can get this thing out soon, and as soon as possible. Thanks, guys.